Welcome with TD Williamson at the 15th Pipeline Technology Conference online session. My name is David Storder, working as Product Manager with TDW. I prepare this presentation with my colleague Yves Lennart, who is Technical Authority. We both work for hot tapping and plugging technology of TD Williamson. I will discuss in this presentation the reasons to apply EN Standard 13480 to split T that are used in hot tap and isolation intervention. As a short reminder, hot tapping is a way to access a live pipeline by cutting and removing a piece of the pipe, as illustrated in the figure on the right. It does not require to shut down the pipeline, neither to stop the flow. Hot tap intervention are done for various reasons, as new tie-in connection, maintenance activities, or as part of an isolation in combination with plugging equipment. To make a hot tap, you first need to install a split T on the pipeline. A split T is a T-shaped fitting that is split longitudinally, as illustrated on the left picture. The header or run is the portion that will be fit up on the pipe. The branch or nozzle is the portion that will provide access to the pipe. The split T nozzle is usually equipped with a flange that will accommodate a permanent or temporary valve. On site, the split T is installed onto the pipe and welded, first the longitudinal welds and then the circular welds. Once this is done, it looks like the picture on the right. After hot tap intervention, the welded split T will replace the section of pipeline contained. It is therefore critical that the split T design meets or exceeds the pipeline design condition. Let's start with an overview of most common standards used in oil and gas industry and how it applies to split Ts. We represent three categories: transmission pipeline, piping system, and pressure vessel. For these three categories, you can see the ASME and EN standard available. The two first apply to split T, transmission and piping. If ASME standards are exhaustive about the split T design in both cases, EN 13480 is also comprehensive, but EN 1594 is not and refers to other standards. The Pressure Equipment Directive only applies to the two last categories, piping and pressure vessel. In fact, transmission pipeline is out of scope of the PD. However, this directive influences many requirements even beyond its scope of application. With no European standard to cover the split T design for transmission pipeline, most operators have developed a specification with requirements from many sources. Starting from the top and moving clockwise, ASME B31.4 and B31.8, which is a valid solution and self-sufficient when applied to all aspects of a split T, design, manufacturing, and so on. The Pressure Equipment Directive, as mentioned before, influences even beyond its scope of application. Inline T, which look alike in shape but have many differences in terms of dimensions, requirements, and manufacturing processes. Of course, national standard as CODAP in France or AD Merkblatt in Germany. EN 1594 and other EN standard for materials, and ISO standard that covers the welding or non-destructive testing, as example. The challenges of combining all these sources is to avoid conflict in terms of requirements. Also, ensure continuous support as standards evolve, and avoid delay in product supply, which could result from a misunderstanding and/or misinterpretation during design, manufacturing, or final inspection. As you can imagine, we see many benefits of using EN 13480 standard to split T to avoid those type of issues. EN 13480 is a comprehensive set of standards that brings consistency as it covers many aspects, from design or calculation to listed material for plate, forging, pipe, and from manufacturing, including welding, post-solid treatment, and so on, to inspection with non-destructive testing, for example. It also confers presumption of conformity with essential requirement of PED. EN 13480 is recognized by all countries that are members of the European Committee for Standardization. It has been developed based on best practices from national standards and has been reviewed and improved in past few years. Therefore, it should allow an easy transition for those in Europe who are still using national standards. For those who have been using ASME B31.8 or B31.4 for the calculation of split T, what would be the impact of moving to EN 13480? One of the major differences is the approach to define the allowable stress. For EN 13480, it is the minimum of two ratios: the yield strength at temperature divided by 1.5 and the tensile at room temperature divided by 2.4. Note that it is also a similar approach for ASME B31.3 for piping system. In ASME B31.8, the allowable is calculated only with the yield strength multiplied by a design factor that can vary from 0.72 to 0.4 depending the location of the pipeline. These two approaches have a significant impact, as you can see on the graph, with the blue line representing the evolution of the allowable according EN 13480 for various pipeline grades compared to the allowable for various design factors using ASME B31.8 calculation. In short, using higher yield strength material with EN 13480 will not help so much to reduce the fitting wall thicknesses as much as it does with using ASME B31.8 and design factor approach. Of course, this is not the only difference. The reinforcement calculation methodology is also different. But at the end, we would like to understand the impact on the thickness of material used for the split T and the amount of welding on site. As explained before, the use of higher yield strength material will not result so much in reduction of thicknesses for the same design condition. However, it is a conservative approach, as you will end up with slightly thicker material. For high yield strength SP460, it is almost equivalent of using a design factor of 0.5 with ASME B31.8. EN 13480 is a conservative approach and brings consistency on many aspects. In this slide, we highlight two examples where design standards don't provide clear rules. It is therefore the recommendation and expertise of the manufacturer that can help the operators making the best choice. On the left view, you can see the weld preparation of the longitudinal chamfer and a recess and backup strip to facilitate the welding on site. In fact, it avoids touching the pipeline during longitudinal welding. On the right, you can see a completion plug that allows to recover a temporary valve after completion of the hot tap and stopper intervention. The picture represents a Lockering Plus completion plug which brings many benefits and additional safety features. So, in conclusion, EN 13480 is straightforward for piping system when the Pressure Equipment Directive applies. It provides presumption of conformity to the PED. For transmission pipeline, it is a conservative and consistent approach that helps guarantee a high-quality product from all aspects, from design to material and manufacturing to inspection, and avoid delays due to misunderstanding or interpretation. I hope you find some interest in this presentation, and we will be happy to hear from your feedback and questions. Don't hesitate to contact us with the PTC app or by email. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day.